Hello, welcome to episode 42 of Dick Moby, my unreading of the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick. This has been going on for far too long. I think we should polish it off tonight, though. This could be the last episode of Dick Moby. I certainly hope so. I'm as sick of it as you are. You can support this project by not giving me anything. Don't give me anything, I don't deserve anything. But you could give money to the National Video Game Museum. The address is down there on the screen, just below me. That would be awesome. If you do want to do anything for me, you could like and subscribe and all the rest of it. If you're joining me on Twitch, feel free to pester me in the chat. That would be awesome as well. I would love to see what you have to say. Not really. Otherwise, I think we should probably crack on because this is dragging, let's face it. And last time, I've not been looking forward to this. I must admit, I've not been looking forward to this episode, in particular because we had reached the possibly the midpoint, maybe not even the midpoint, of this ridiculous piece of stage-directed, dramatic escapade on the part of what doesn't even appear to be the crew at this point. We've lost the crew. I think Daggoo is one of the actual crew of the Pequod, but beyond that, we've got Old Manx sailor, never been introduced. English sailor, no. Fourth Nantucket sailor, Danish sailor, Portuguese sailor, sailors of every stripe. Tahitian sailor, Sicilian sailor, Maltese sailor, Lascar sailor, a 3D Nantucket sailor is the next to speak. But this is not available in 3D. This is entirely a 2D production. So unfortunately, we will lose something in the telling, or the untelling. But we're doing all right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We did well for sperm last time. We found 14 sperms in episode 41, which was great progress. Really rattling those sperms in. The sperm buffer is clear. There it is, ready to go. The big board is filling up nicely with sperm behind me. As I've said before, there are 271 individual instances of the word sperm in the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick. We're looking for them all. We want to find all them sperms. We're going to catch them all, like Pokemon. We're going to stick them in our spermidex. We're going to evolve them into some kind of hulking magic behemoth sperm. But when we've found all 271, we can just stop. We can just give it up until Nintendo releases it again and we have to pay for it again, even though it's the same. I'm annoyed with Nintendo this week. I'll explain why later. But for now, I'm going to carry on unreading this piece of dog shit, hogwash trash, whatever you want to call it, and we'll see how far we get. Hi Al. Al's in the chat as usual. Nice to see you, Al. When I say as usual, you're not under any obligation to do this, you know. I don't pay Al for his contributions to this. He does it entirely out of the goodness of his heart and the idiocy of his mind. I don't know why he puts up with it. You don't have to. You could go and do something better with your Friday night. Oh my goodness, what's that? I have brown booze this week. Thanks to 5 Sprites from last week who donated something to me and said that I had to spend it on myself because he already gives money to the National Video Game Museum, so I had no place giving additional money to them, so I treated myself to some brown booze, which I'm going to enjoy. For now, let's continue. Brahma Bye was the last line by Sailor Lascar. Rises wind the, darkens sky the meantime, clusters in gather and, dancing cease they. Tash, whiff at us give, calm in whales after pulling, than worse is this. Phew! Oh, spell! Sailor Nantucket 3D. I assume this is supposed to be third Nantucket sailor, but I'm going to go with a 3D sailor for now. Once was I, young your lads on dance, It of ballroom one make to right 'tis so, and it have scholars you as ball our world's whole the belike well well. Crews green scold the and navies green the of think too. Christ oh! Corners round headwinds beat that. Night women you're of threat bitterest the that's will I. Grave your overdancile. Over dancing are they what of them bethink lads jolly those weather wonder I. Sailor Manx Old. Maybe we should go into some Shakespeare next. Maybe I should unread the complete works of Shakespeare after I finish this. I think getting into this whole dramatic rhythm, I think it could suit me. Sweat, my save I, humph! Fun that calls he, man whiter that's, smoking quietly. Tashtego. Yourselves tear, jibs split, it through jump I till, Pip, hoop thy uphold, merry mad, Sailor French. Thyself of pagoda a make, away pound and then teeth thy rattle, Sailor China. So it pound I, off dropped, another goes there, say you jinglers, Pip. Jinglers the break, fireflies make. Oh, that's very poetic, isn't it? Jinglers the break, fireflies make. It sounds like something from Ring, doesn't it? You know, Ring, the horror film. That's what was the thing in that? Something about goblins, isn't it? Some goblins be thine. Was it? Flounder? What's the word I'm looking for? Hello, Five Sprites. I was just saying I bought some brown booze. He's in the chat again. I bought brown booze with your money. Thank you from last week. Much appreciated. But I'm struggling to remember a word. We could be here all night. Frolic. Frolic is the word. Frolic in brine, goblins be thine. That was the thing from the movie Ring, wasn't it? The Japanese horror movie that they remade. A compromised second draft in Hollywood. Yes, and this was quite poetic. Jinglers the break, fireflies make. Bellboy, it quig, it stig, it dig. This is unreadable. This is horrible. Jinglers the break. Right, gonna have another run at it. Here we go. Jinglers the break, fireflies make. Bellboy, it quig, it stig, it dig, it rig. Bellboy, it bang. Pip, it go. Dancing, Sailor Azor. Jesus. A plenty oaths, rigging of coils thee among lie or sleep some. Below go some. Tambourine the to dance them of half the. Boys now, mount you up. Windlass bits. There's and. Pip, are you here? Scuttle the up tambourine, the pitching and ascending. Sailor Azor. It for now, music that comes here. Ah, soon harvest to go legs all. I say, may you when corn hoe. Us of more plenty theirs. Sulkies ye well. Sailor Long Island. Grasshopper turn, ye with hop isle then, green and girls. Aye, Sailor Sicilian. Partners have must I, partners. Do ye how himself to say and, right his by hand left, his take would fool abbot who? Girls your wares? Me, to me. Sailor Maltese. Who are all these sailors? Where are they all coming from? Me excuse but subject to the on water cold throw to sorry I'm ice floors to Ustime taste my to springy to its matey floor your like don't I Sailor Iceland. Legs yourselves throw double shuffle the inter gallop and Indian file now form dance you won't me damn hurrah word the merries say I men it jig. Ears thy wag and then belly thy beat. Sailor French. Is it where no don't? Sleepy and sulky. Pip. Tambourine you're with hurrah. Pip little pip. Legs all by stand. Watch other the comes there. Ye say what? Bay blanket in anchor to ride we before two or jig a have let's, boys hissed. Sailor French. Butter Amsterdam eating with spoiled ain't throat the high. It that's. Whether that's. Judgment to come and last their kiss must they. Resurrection the it's tell. Lasses there of dreaming avast to oh good grief. Dreaming avast to tell. It through hail and copper pump this take there. Again at. Butts ground tier like their town lie. Aye, sleep they, sing we, others to Philipping, as some to deadening, as quite its. Wine moguls old hour in this mark I, that for night fat, matey tonight snoozing grand. Sailor Dutch. Oh my word, there's a song coming up. It can mean only one thing. I'm just going to have to sing it. Up tumble, below their bells 8. Ahoy! What the... Ahoy! Starbolines. Scuttle the down, head his thrusts. So, mouth hogshead there. That for mouth of sort the Ive. Watch the call me let and. Blacking thou, pip thou, 8 bell the strike. Bellboy, hear ye, their bells 8. Chorus the avast. Sailor Nantucket second. Forward, their bells 8. Quarter deck the from voice mates. Oh. Now then. What song is this? It doesn't look like it's going to scan at all, does it? There's no rhythm to this. Wail the striking is harpooner bold the while. Fail never hearts your may, lads, my cheery be so. This is terrible. I God, it carries on. Look, it's not even just that bit. Oh, at least that's the end of the chapter. Okay, thrilling conclusion. I suppose I could try and do... what's the song? Ladies of Spain song from Jaws. I could do it in the style of Quint from Jaws, I suppose. Maybe. 5 Sprites in the chat says he's in tears right now, dreading what's about to happen. But seriously, this is it's not going to be as bad as all that. I'm just going to go for it. Well, the striking is harpooner bold the while. Fail never hearts your may, lads, my cheery be so. Hand over, boys, hand. Whales find those of one have wheel and. Stand braces your by and. Boys, my boats, you're in tubs, you're oh. Strand every at blue that whales gallant those of viewing hand his in spyglass deck thee upon stud captain our. Follow all and sings. Me follow tonic a take. I think I need a tonic after that. Digestion the forbad it's. Sentimental be don't, boys oh. Sailor Nantucket first. Commanded captains our. Oh, it is the Ladies of Spain. It's actually that song. I didn't look ahead. So hang on. If I can reverse. This is a different song from the second one because I actually know the tune to this one. Captain's commanded. Commanded captains our. Oh, this is really hard to reverse a tune in your head. Spain of ladies. Ladies of Spain. Spain of ladies. Just so everybody know on Game Day Forum that Baz is singing. Yeah, okay, I'm going to say... Should I just do this forwards? I might just perform this song forwards. Because I'm actually wearing, strangely enough, the fishing charter... You see that? The fishing charter t-shirt thing from Jaws. I'm going to sing this forwards. A little treat for you all. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. I don't know this our captain's commanded bit. Oh, we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And perhaps never more shall we see you again. How's that? Commanded captain's hour. Spain of ladies, you to adieu and farewell. Ladies Spanish, you to adieu and farewell. Chorus in singing all. Oh, it should be all of us singing in chorus, look. You should have joined in. Chorus in singing all. Attitudes various in lying and, leaning, lounging, standing watch that discovers and rises foresail. Sailors and harpooneers. Forecastle midnight. 40 chapter. Well, that was fun. That was fun, but we're done. Oh, there's more fucking singing. I'm not singing this one. I'll read this one. It's like Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Where you know Lord of the Rings, right? And The Hobbit. There's all those singing bits. There's all the songs. And you're reading it. I read The Hobbit to both my kids. My youngest kid didn't really like it. We gave up halfway through. But they were both fascinated by the fact that I could make up the songs. When I reached a singing section, the text goes in italics, and it's obvious that you're supposed to sing this thing. But I was actually in a concert. I was in a show when I was little, 10 years old or so, with a full musical arrangement of a lot of the songs from The Hobbit, written by a guy called Norman Harper. And it was great. It was good fun. I had Gandalf and Bilbo and all that, and the dwarves and the good songs. So I can still remember a lot of the tunes, so I just sing them. My kids are amazed. They think they're like the real tunes that you're supposed to sing to all of the Hobbit songs. I don't know any of the Lord of the Rings ones, especially not that one that Billy Boyd sings, like the one out of a boy band. Don't go in for that nonsense. Anyway, let's continue. It's enough tuneful larks for tonight. I was determined not to enjoy this. Coming job this with through just Sir I, mistaken not I'm if, to his has he, superior my he's, aside. Sir I, Starbuck mister, calls who, that's Dave Braver, meeting while lips the on break and, brim beakers the on swim that bubbles as, fleeting and gay as love too, light as hearts with tonight drink wheel. Oh, skirra lirra la far, I am so and pennant frigates are as gay, say dare I. Harpooneers arrived last the to party are giving. Out eyes it's crying, now doing home at pair little juicy my wats. Skirra lirra la far, funny feel I, horrible. It's all got very light-hearted, this, hasn't it? I preferred the 4 chapters of dark anecdotes about the inside of a whale, as experienced by the dead crew. Funny feel I, horribles, you're all in lurks as leering waggish as such, laughing to it go I'll, will it what it be but, coming be may that all not know I, carcass I hears, stub, it of what stub, well, title my that's, stub wise, stub well, it saw I skull his upon I my clapped I when for, it prophesied have readily might gift the had what? Oh, gift the had. That's confusing. It knew it twigged I. 2. Him fixed has mogul old the shore be. Felt evening other the eye as something looked then Starbuck I poor my to but. Starbuck with talk his all not heard I. Predestinated all its is comfort unfailing that, left always comforts one, will what come and queer that's all to answer easiest, wisest the laughs are because, so why, consequence final the has, ha that and, since ever it overthinking been I've, throat my clear, hem, ha 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 ha, brace amending and solus stub, foretop. They obviously like my singing. They said it was like the 4 Tops. Night Watch first, 39 chapter. That was really short. That was a very quick chapter. If they're all like that, we'll be done tonight. We won't, because I can see the progress bar. I can see how far through this document I've actually got. Because I'm not reading this from the book. I haven't got the book in front of me. This is obviously on a screen, as you can see. on the stream as well. If you do want to read along with this, as I've said before, the original title, the working title of Whale the Oar Dick Moby, the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick, was originally called Gutenberg.org/files/2701/2701-h/2701-h.htm link 2HCH0048. Now, I think they've actually changed the address of that while I've been reading this. I think this is redirected. I'm sure it didn't used to be called that. I'm going to have to go back to an earlier episode. Actually, you could do that. Why don't you, as a bit of research for you, you can put some effort in as well, do some legwork. Go and watch one of the earlier episodes on YouTube and find a section where I say that address and see how it's differed, because I'm sure those letters at the end are slightly different from how it used to be. Maybe this is a different version of the document. Maybe what we're reading now is actually a different draft. That would be confusing, wouldn't it? Because then we'd have to go back through. We'd have to diff the two documents, the two versions. If you're not into source control and stuff, diffing. What I mean is look for the changes between the two. Find the changes and then read in order to merge our branch of the timeline into the true timeline of Moby Dick. We would have to then reread the bits of this document that have differed and then unread the bits of the other document that are different from this one. And then, I don't know, and then give up using Git for good. Influence is blessed ye owe, me bind, me hold, me bystand. Future's phantom, grim ye fight to try, I will yet. Me inhuman, the of feeling soft the withhand. Me avowed horrors that. Me not 'tis but. The in horror latent, the feel do I that now 'tis. Life feed to forced are things untutored, wild as. Knowledge to held and downbeat soul with. This like hour and in 'tis. Life Excuse me. Watch the set and revel as ye. Peace. Through me thrills how long the gurglings wolfish it's by hunted on further and wake the of water dead the overbuilded cabin sternward his within broods he wear it after Ahab dark drag to only but bow bantering embattled gay the on shoots sea sparkling the through foremost life pictures it methinks aft silence unfaltering the mark forward is revelry that orgies infernal the hark Demigorgon there is whale white the. Oh my goodness. It's branching into what was it called? Stranger Things territory. God, I hated Stranger Things. Didn't you hate Stranger Things? I'll tell you at the end of this paragraph whether I hated Stranger Things as much as you did. See sharkish the by somewhere whelped them in mother's human of touch small have that crew heathen as such with sail too. God That's what I thought watching Stranger Things. I thought, God, Foxhole from Revelry of Burst Out. Yeah, Stranger Things. I'm not going to spoil or anything because if you do want to watch it, or if you haven't seen it yet, I can see why people like it, but I didn't dig it. And something in the third series annoyed me quite a bit, because it's supposed to have this 80s aesthetic, right? This creepy 80s, somewhere between like an E.T. style kids adventure movie crossed with sort of cosmic horror kind of aspect to it, but all presented in a very 80s style. And the way they achieve this is done a few ways. They obviously costume and the way the thing is shot, it's all at least it starts out very well done in that respect. But in the third series, I noticed this happen a few times through the other series, where they deliberately they quote from other movies or TV shows or whatever, and never in a way that really draws attention to itself. And some of them are really quite hard to spot. Like there's a line from Jaws that that's used. I can't even remember the line now, but it's one of those where you sort of, it's not like a big famous line from Jaws. It's something where you kind of go, oh, I've heard that before, and then you go, oh yeah, it's in Jaws, yeah. I think some of them kind of work, but then there's one in the third series where one of the young girls in the storyline comes in with a map, a blueprint that they have acquired from somewhere, a blueprint of a military base or something. And she says this line. She says, "It's amazing what $20 can get you at the county recorder's office." Now, I'm going to let you mull on that for a second, see if that rings a bell. It probably doesn't ring a bell. It's quite a niche thing, and it's something that I'm specifically a fan of. I do like this thing that it's a reference to. I wouldn't expect most people to get it. It's a reference to the film Sneakers, starring Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Sidney Poitier, River Phoenix, R.I.P. Who else? David Strathairn, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonnell, the bald guy that you would recognise if I could remember his name, but I can't. It's a great film. It's a really good film. It's the best ensemble cast heist movie, sort of techno heist movie ever. Better than it's got snappier dialogue than Ocean's 11 or something like that. It feels a lot less forced. Really good film. But the line, "It's amazing what $50 will get you from the county recorder's office," is used in Sneakers. Now, there is a discrepancy there. In Sneakers, it's $50. In Stranger Things, she says $20. But all of this annoyed me, not because the reference to a film that's beloved of mine and something I hold dear, but rather that Sneakers came out in about 1993. So it's not even a callback. As you were saying there in the chat, you're not into... Al's saying in the chat, I'm not into shows that are callbacks to other stuff, contain callbacks to other stuff. And, the rest of it didn't annoy me, but this specifically annoyed me because it was a call forward to something that shouldn't even have happened yet. And it didn't even include the kicker, the actual funny bit of that line in Sneakers, where I think River Phoenix, his character says, Carl says, "It's amazing what $50 will get you from the county recorder's office." Robert Redford goes, "Good work, whatever, well done for getting the thing. Where'd you get the money? Where'd you get the $50? And Carl says, "I took it from Mother's wallet." Mother being Dan Aykroyd's character in the film. So, it's not even, it doesn't even work as with the joke in it. It's just there for the sake of it in Stranger Things. So it's a kind of call forward to something that shouldn't have even happened yet in that universe, with all of the charm taken out of it. It's just there for the sake of it. And I got annoyed at it. That, and they don't seem to know how to end the series. Series 2 just ends like the same. In fact, all the 3 series just end with this sort of Deus Ex Machina of the mage of the party sorting things out without giving too much away. So yes, it was shit. But anyway, that Demogorgon thing, that's what made me think of it, because that's the baddie, isn't it, in Stranger Things? Is the Demogorgon. That's what they're up against. I wonder if Demogorgon dates from further back. I wonder if Herman Melville invented the term Demogorgon, if it dates further back than that. Who knows? Maybe you can look that up as well. There you go. You can go and find that out for us and tell us that in the chat. Let's finish this chapter off. Again, lift to key no have I. Weight all controlling the heart my. Down run clocks hull my butt. led like not it were. Heart up would I. A side wedge may God purpose heaven insulting his. Globe glassy it has goldfish small the as. In swim to world watery round the has whale hated the. Wide flow tide and time. Hope there is yet. That sounds very Yoderish, doesn't it? Wide flow time, tide and time. Hope there is yet. That was okay. That was kind of a weird Russian Yoda. I'm not sure. Not sure that worked. It I had me up me shrivel. Sorry, up me shrivel would woe lurid some read I eyes his in for pity of touch with hate to yet worse and rebelling obey too. Office miserable my sea plain the eye. Oh, below all over it lords he how look. Above all, to Democrat be would he, I. Cries he, him over whose? Man, old, horrible. Cut to knife no, have I cable with me toes. Him to me tied has thing ineffable the. I nil, I will. It to him help must I that feel but. End impious, his see I think I. It's really hard to read. Me of out reason, my all blasted and down deep drilled he but. Field as such, on arms ground should sanity that. Sting insufferable. Madness aby and overman she's. Matched than more is soul my. It against leaning Starbuck, mainmaster by. Dusk, 38 chapter. Rattling through him tonight. Absolutely rattling through him tonight. Yeah. Oh, Al in the chat there again. Thank you. Always a good researcher. Says Demigorgon goes back to the 4th century. So a little bit before Herman Melville's time. Crazy. 4th century. So where was it first used then? Well, you say it goes back to the 4th century. In what context? What was it? A specific literary thing at the time? Did it appear in a piece of work, or was it a widely known folklore thing that died out? Went out of favour or whatever. Went out of the culture for 1,000 years. Interesting. 4th century. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading. There's a lot of chat going on tonight, which is great, but I want to jump in at some point and give you my opinion of Ready Player One, which is what's going on in the chat. They're going on about Ready Player One, the film and the book. The film that they made based on the book, based on everything else that had ever happened. Maybe I'll have an opinion of it, but I'm going to carry on for now because we're making good progress. These are really short chapters. This could be a 4-chapter night. We're only halfway through this hour as well, which is great. There's no admin to do tonight either. I don't have to re-record any bits of last week's episode at the end of this week in a kind of time tunnel, bizarre, recursive, technical error. Let's continue. Weigh iron the to angle and noughts, obstacle and noughts. Rush I unerringly, beds torrents under, mountains of hearts rifled the through, gorges unsounded over. Run to grooved is soul my whereon, rails iron with laid is purpose fixed my to path the. Me swerve, there ye has man, yourselves swerve ye else. Me swerve cannot ye. Me swerve, this is very repetitive. Me swerve can ye if ye see. No, if see. Ye. It's all the same word over and over again. Hang on, let me go again. Me swerve can ye if see and come. Ye to compliments Ahab's come. Ye reach to gun long no have I. Bags cotton you're behind from forth come. Hidden and run have ye but. Again up am I and down me knocked ye've no. Me pommel don't. Size own you're of one some take. Bullies to do schoolboys. Don't do schoolboys. Do schoolboys as say not will I. Bendigoes Blinded and Burkes. Deaf ye. I think they're breeds of apple, aren't they? Bendigoes Blinded and Burkes. Deaf ye, pugilists ye, cricket players ye at hoot and laugh I. Wherever God's great, ye than more that. One fulfiller the and prophet the be then now. Dismemberer my dismember will I, that prophecy now I. Leg this lost I, and dismembered be should I that was prophecy the. Itself comprehend to calm only that's madness wild that. Madden madness am I. Demoniac I'm but. Does Starbuck mad me think they? Do I'll, willed I've what and, willed I've, dead I've what? Wasting be needs must itself match the. Others fire to that hard, oh, match there I and, me before stand all they. Powder of ant hills many so like, will you if or, revolve they and, wheels various there, all into fit circle cogged one my butt. Last the at, stubborn one, fine to thought I, task a heard so not 'twas. Window the from moves he, hand his waving. Excuse me. Oh, my voice never warms up until halfway through, and then yes, it starts cracking immediately. Night good, paradise of midst the damned, malignantly most and subtly most, damned, power enjoying, lo the lack I, perception high the with gifted, enjoy ne'er can I since. Me to anguish is loveliness all, me not lights it, light lovely this. More no, soothed sunset the so, me spurred nobly sunrise the as when was time, oh, brow my upon heat dry. My voice should be alright this week. I've had a chance to exercise my voice a little bit. I did a presentation at work. I say at work, I mean I'm working at home, but I did a Zoom call presentation thing to my younger colleagues, in which I explained how to use how to program in Z80 assembly language on the Spectrum, for no particular reason. I'm pushing the boundaries of what I can do, sort of lunch and learn presentations on that that is tangentially related to what I actually do for a living. I am a software engineer, obviously, for a living, as I've said before, but not on the Spectrum and not in assembly language. No one was made better at their jobs by me spending an hour explaining the niceties of addressing modes in a 30-year-old assembly language, or 40-year-old nearly. So that was fun. And I had way too much content. I had to cut it short. I could have gone, I could have done 2 hours. But it was restricted to 1. I don't think anyone would have stuck it out for much longer anyway. Everyone was very polite about it. I'm going to do template metaprogramming next. That's the next one. I'm determined to make everybody there worse software engineers by the time I leave. Not that I'm planning to leave. My boss does occasionally watch this after the fact, so I've left it this late in this episode to talk about this because I assume he doesn't watch the whole thing. I assume he's happy to know that I'm spending my Friday nights productively and not going mad in my isolation. But he doesn't need to watch 38 minutes of this to determine that fact. So after a few minutes, he probably tunes out. I think we're safe now to talk about my stupid plan to dumb down every colleague I ever work with. Fight brain battering, exactly, brain battering. Most the in helmet no needs that sort the. Mine skull steel eye, metal solid the against beat to seems brain my. So me goals edge jagged the. Did I miss a bit? I didn't. Did I miss a bit? Did I read this bit already? I don't recognise this bit. Did I read this bit? I think I did read this bit. Did I? Brow my upon heat dry. It doesn't ring a bell. Oh, fuck it. It doesn't matter, does it? Skull steel eye, metal solid the against beat to seems brain my. So me galls edge jagged the, feel I that, too split 'tis. Gold not, know I that, iron 'tis, confounds dazzlingly that where I that feel darkly but. Flashings far it's not see, where are the eye, gem a many with bright it is yet. Lombardy of crown iron this, where I that heavy to crown the, then is. Hill endless her with weary she, up Mount Solmai, down goes, noon from dived slow, sun diver the, blue the plum's brow gold the, wine like blush waves warm the, rim goblets ever brimming by yonder. Pass I first but, them let, track my whelm, track my whelm to swell, sidelong billows envious the, sail I where'er, cheeks paler, waters pale, wake turbid and white, leave I, out gazing and alone sitting Ahab, windows stern the by, cabin the. Sunset, 37 chapter. Crikey, these chapters are a piece of piss. There's nothing to them. Oh, this one's a bit longer. This one's a monster. Oh, look at this. Look at this. There's a false sense of security if ever I saw one. Jesus Christ. Right. Well, I better crack on. Better crack on with that. Better get down to where we were. So Nintendo, right? How many times do you have to buy a Nintendo game before you can say you own it? If you buy Animal Crossing, not Death Ray Manta, don't worry. That's a good one. Animal Crossing, right? How is it that you can't have 4 people play the game different, like their own game? What's that? Why do you have to buy? Why can only one of you be like the boss of the island and the rest of it is everyone else tagging along? I don't understand. I don't understand why they would design a thing like that. 50 quid that game. 50 quid and only one of the family can buy it. Family friendly my arse. That's terrible. Yeah, they're such money grubbers. It's terrible. Nintendo are awful. Their business, they come across as this family friendly outfit, right? All their games are all really cute. And oh look, you know, you can collect all the things and it's really sweet and blah blah blah. And everything's pastel shades or bright cartoony colours, and everyone's got big eyes, and they sell you a game and it's not even basically functional as a family product. It's terrible. We bought Animal Crossing for the family, specifically because my youngest son, who loves playing video games but gets a bit stressed sometimes when games are too hard for him. The last game we got for him the last game we got for him was the Mario 3D collection game on the Switch. Now, which I resented anyway, because it's like I've bought 2 of these games before and they're not even that good. And I don't even know what the third one's like, but he wanted them and he was paying for it with his birthday money or whatever. So do what you want, idiot. But they just make him cry because he can't do them. They're too hard for him, right? And but they're not too hard for him. He's really good at video games. He doesn't realise quite how good he is for a 5-year-old boy. You know, he's, as I've said before, he can reach the first boss on Ikaruga on medium difficulty. Which for a 5-year-old boy, I mean, I think back to how bad I was at video games when I was 7 when I got my Spectrum, my first computer. And I was clueless. I couldn't play video games at that age. You know, he's got quite a long way through N++ as well. He loves the ninja game. He always wants to play the ninja game. He's great at video games. But, you know, Mario games are quite badly designed. They're hard to control. You know, they kill you out of nowhere. They're unfair. They always have been. 35-year history of being shit games starring a fucking plumber. So he gets a bit stressed playing those after school. So we thought Animal Crossing, what can go wrong with Animal Crossing, right? You basically, you wander around a void, an empty space where you have to just repeatedly click things for the sake of it, for just to fulfill an order that someone has given you in a speech bubble that says, do this. And you go, yes, sir. And off you go. You collect these things. Go and get these things. Okay, got them things. What's next? I'll get these other things. Whatever. But, we thought, it's pretty chill. So we got it. And both my children, within 5 minutes of having it, were in floods of tears for an hour. Because they realised then that they couldn't have their own islands. They had to share, right? And now they don't share. They're not terrible at sharing in real life, but they find it very hard to share a space like that, or at least they thought they would. So this family-friendly game, 50 quid's worth of family-friendly fucking Nintendo happy cartoon product, just caused untold strife immediately. So that's it. We're sticking to arcade games from now on. Death Ray Manta definitely is getting bought. They can have that. Like it or lump it. I like it, But yeah, I'm not paying for Mario games again. Not buying any more. It's just the same shit over and over again. And half the time you've already bought them. It's terrible. Admittedly, I've already bought Death Ray Manta on Steam, but I'm quite happy to get it on Switch as well, because it's cool. Cabin His within retired Ahab and plus I've put woefully little time into it, actually, on Steam. Just through lack of time and other things to play, I guess. And I'd like to devote a bit more effort to it. Cabin His within retired Ahab and dispersed all they, them to hand free his waving when crew frantic the among rounds the went pewter replenished the finally and more once shivered and turned and paled Starbuck. Hiss are with down quaffed simultaneously. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. That's my brown booze. I'm not used to it. Shivered and turned and paled Starbuck. Hiss are with down quaffed simultaneously were spirits there. Whale white the against maledictions and cries to and. Lifted were goblets steel barbed long there. Death his to Dick, Moby. Hunt not do we if. All us hunt God. This is a Japanese role-playing game. All us hunt God. Dick Moby to death. Bow whaleboats deathful, the man that men ye. Swear and drink. Harpooneers ye drink. It upon sit to wait now sun ratifying yon. Done his deed the butt. Starbuck. Ha! League indissoluble this two parties made now are who ye. Then bestow chalices murderous the command. Stand ye 3 to 3 now. Pewter the from waters fiery the with sockets harpoon the brimmed he. Other the to officer one from going slowly forthwith. Fill I while them hold, them take. Irons the advance cupbearers ye now, so, socket the upturn. End goblet the not ye know. Over them can't. Over them can't. Them can't. Steel keen, that with not me stab. Him before up barbs held, long feet threesome. It's like something that rude that goes on in Hobbiton, a long feet threesome. Harpoons there of part iron detached the with stud now harpooneers 3 there. Order the obeying silently. Harpooneers ye, pole the draw and seizings your cut. It will ye order not do I. It ye bend shall that. Condescension own your cardinal sweet, my o. You a footiara his using, beggars of feet the washes pope great the when what? Task the disdain, harpooneers valiant my, noblemen and gentlemen honourable most 3 yon, their kinsmen pagan 3, my to cupbearers 3 ye appoint do I, mates ye now and lances down, not it need ye perchance, dead ye dropped have would it too perchance, me out from expired perhaps had that, thing electric own mine then, shock full forced the take. Once but 3 ye did 4. Well 'tis maybe but, Ahab cried, vain in. Downright fell Starbuck of eye honest there. Him from sideways looked flask and stub, aspect mystic and sustained, strong his before quailed mates three the. Life magnetic own his of jar laden, the within accumulated emotion fiery same thee, them intershocked, have fain would he, volition interior, nameless some by, though as seemed it. Flask to stub from, stub to Starbuck from, intently glancing, meanwhile them twitched nervously and suddenly, doing so while sent across there at Lance's radiating, level 3, we're on to level 3, level 3, the grasp T, arm extended with, saying so, Axis the touch me let, done well, me before for Lance's your cross, mates ye advance. Ugh, my goodness. Ague? 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 What word's that? Agwu. I'm going to go with that. Agwu! Thou. Away. Imp, vitus saint, thou not wert. Again brimming run had pewter this, now why? Me at hand, sooner not come pennies bad. Back come boy, ha! That see yet will you, men owe. Me before father's fisherman, my of custom noble a revive sort some, in may I that, in me ring, mariners stout. Ye and, irons yaw with their stand, harpooneers ye and, lances yaw with me flank, mates ye and, capstan this round, all ye mustered have I, braves my now attend. Refill, steward. Yeah, I think we need to. Refill, steward. Gone and gulped his life brimming so, years the seem ye men. Hollower hears, me at hand, comes it way this, went it way that, drained almost, done well. I serpent snapping the at out forks, ye and spiralizes it. Excellently round goes it, so, hoof Satan's as hot 'tis. Men swallows long, draught short, round it with round, drink now alone cruther, seaman doesn't count, nearest the to flagon charged heavy the handling, cried he, pass and drink. Indian the of snare hidden, the interfall to only, alas but, bison the of trail thee in head there at on rushes he air. Leader there of I the meat wolves prairie, the of eyes bloodshot the as, his met eyes wild those but. Crew his of man every eyeing searchingly instant and forstood he, group the round circle a formed company ships, the of rest the and, lances there with side his at stud mates three his while, hands therein harpoons therewith, capstan the near him before them ranging then. Weapons there produce, I guess, weapons there produce, to them ordered he, harpooneers the to turning and pewter brimming the receiving. Ahab cried, measure the. On us drive still these, being our in necessities innermost the, us constrained to external little with four. Within things foregoing the of verifications as, without from predictions much so not yet. Shadows ye, warnings than predictions ye are rather but. Come ye when, not ye stay why, warnings and admonitions ye are. Before us rolled and heaved ship the, outfilled sails the, on blue winds the, away died laugh subterranean the, life of stubbornness the with uplighted eyes downcast Starbucks again for. In sank hearts their moment for as, masts the against sails the of flap hollow the yet nor, cordage the in winds the of vibrations presaging the yet nor. Hold the from laugh low the yet nor, invocation foreboding his hear not did Ahab, mate the of acquiescence tacit, enchanted the at joy his in but. Lowly Starbuck murmured, all us keep, me keep God. I think I might be done for the night. Is that enough? Can I stop? I don't think we're going to finish this chapter tonight, are we? No, there's way too much left. Way too much left to finish this this thing. I'm a what? This chat is getting ridiculous. I just want to say that everyone in the chat, there is a point of order. I am not a flump. I'm not a flump. I don't know what that... Someone's posted... 5 Sprites, you've posted a link there. I'm not prepared to look at that. I don't know what it could be. But I do not open unsolicited links to things that then lead to your wife rolling on the floor in agreement and you calling me a flump. I'm working hard for this. I'm doing this for you, for your mental state. This is lockdown. This is tier 3. It's serious, okay? I am not a flump. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I won't say any more than that. I notice I still haven't been on the BBC's front page. In fact, I haven't been on the BBC's any page. No page of the BBC has carried a story that says, man saves mental health of nation by reading Moby Dick backwards for 42 hours and counting. Remember when the man walked up and down his garden? A 100-year-old man, he walked up and down his garden. They gave him a knighthood. What do I get? I suppose I could ask you to like and subscribe. Nobody liked and subscribed to him, did they? He hasn't got an ongoing series out of it, has he? I mean, he could do. He could just keep walking up and down his garden, but no one's paying any attention. Once he'd done whatever it was, 1,000 laps, on to the next poor chump. On to the next poor flump. What about my Ready Player One thoughts, says Al. I don't have any Ready Player One thoughts. You don't deserve my Ready Player One thoughts, you lot. I thought the book annoyed me more than the film. That's what I thought about Ready Player One. I expected the film to be abysmal, especially after I saw the poster with the boy with the leg that was twice as long as it should have been. However, I actually ended up quite enjoying the film. It was nothing special. It wasn't crazy good, but it was obviously Spielberg bringing a bit of what's the word? Not realism, but a bit of stature to something that could have just been trash. It was all right, and all of the references in it sort of worked in the context of a film. I really didn't think they worked in the context of a book, and I will explain why. I've got 3 minutes left. I can probably do this in 5 minutes. There is a principle in writing fantasy and science fiction that says that the more outlandish your universe that you've constructed, then the more consistent must its rules become. In other words, you look at a movie that does work, like The Matrix, for example, or Star Wars, for example. The rules of that universe are established very quickly at the beginning of the film. Famously, the first half an hour of The Matrix is just one long explanation of what the whole thing is about. What is The Matrix? That was the whole marketing thing, right? So, and the same is true of books. If you are expecting people to buy into a completely fantastical universe, then the rules of that universe has to be made clear early on and then stuck to. And only under very strange, extreme circumstances should you introduce a new rule or break a rule that you have already established. I think this is widely known and talked about in lots of sort of screenwriting and novel writing books and so on. For all that people hate Bob McKee these days, he does write sensibly on this topic in his book Story. The book of Ready Player One, I thought, took way too many liberties with its own fantasy. Every predicament that the main character, I forget the character's name, I'm afraid, but every predicament that he finds himself in, every pinch point of the story, of the plot, was I sort of felt it was there were too many kind of get out clauses. I think this is where I'm going with this. It frequently placed him in jeopardy and then arbitrarily created a new piece of logic that was inconsistent with everything that had gone before in order to allow him to escape. Classic example being he had found himself stuck in a crater, I believe, or some kind of hole at some point towards the end of the book. This isn't in the first 30 pages. This is, one of the climactic moments of the book, as I remember. Certainly in the final third of the book, he finds himself stuck in a hole from which he must escape, and somehow, if I recall correctly, he suddenly finds himself able to construct a pair of rocket shoes that allow him to fly. Is that right? Am I thinking that's correct in the book? Oh, somehow he suddenly finds out that he can fly, right? Having never been able to fly throughout the rest of the book, and having been in situations in the rest of the book where flight would have been a useful skill to have brought to bear on a given problem. But only when the problem critically required flight did he suddenly invent a way to fly, or discover that he could fly naturally, or sprout wings, or whatever it was. I can't quite remember the exact details. And that happened too often in the book for it to really hold together. All the references are fine, but you could have just given me, I could have bought a book from some, whatever, nostalgia.com, video game references 101 kind of thing, and enjoyed all of those things. Yeah, they're kind of fun to spot them, and some of them are fairly obscure and interesting, but not enough to hold my interest through that story in the novel. Whereas the film was a bit different. The film, it didn't seem, I think because it was fantastical from the very beginning, all that whole race sequence towards the start, which probably happens in the book as well, I can't remember, but it didn't seem quite so arbitrary somehow in the film. Maybe the film, you just, as you say, you have to turn off. Five Sprites there in the chat saying sometimes you just have to turn your brain off with films these days, and that's, it's no doubt true. But I think, as I said before, Spielberg gave the whole thing a bit of a bit more character than it needed, in a way, that pulled you through it and kept the whole thing hanging together, where otherwise it would have been a shambles. So I didn't really mind the film. I thought the film was fine. I wouldn't watch it again, but I don't resent watching it. There's considerably worse sci-fi movies from the past decade or so. Oh, is that true? Five Sprites there in the chat saying, I assume you mean Spielberg by he. He removed all reference to his own film history, apparently, in the thing. That would have been weird. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, could have become a bit self-indulgent if there was loads of like Jaws references and E.T. references and all that, the Terminal, Duel, his back catalogue. Yeah, that would have been strange, but nevertheless interesting. And I didn't mind. I certainly didn't mind the book. I didn't mind the film, and I didn't absolutely hate the book. I mean, I read it to the end. I didn't throw it in the canal or anything, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But that is just one man's opinion. Feel free to have your own opinion. Bring your opinions along next week if you want me to destroy them for you. Feel free. I will be here next Friday for an hour for episode 43. Is it? I think next of this, assuming we go in order. We probably should. I got very confused earlier on because of recording the outro to episode 40 at the end of episode 41. When I came to start the stream today, I added one. I usually increment the episode number on the title card, and Obviously, it said episode 40, and I put it to 41. Only at the very last second did I realise that episode 41 was last week. So I would have been, not only did I record things out of order, I was also about to branch the timeline into this kind of bizarre duplicate episode 41. But now I think we're back on track. I think we've merged the timelines. Spock destroyed Vulcan and his mother. He destroyed Winona Ryder in a specialist video that only I own. And now the timelines have merged. We're back on track. Hitler's grandfather is alive. We're all good. We're back to normality. So next week will be episode 43, as it should be, and we will continue from chapter. What chapter was this? I think we're doing pretty well for chapter count, aren't we? Let's just scroll back. Sunset, chapter 37. So this is chapter 36, actually, that we're in now. Pretty good. We've. I didn't realise at the time that we did it. I think we did it today, did we? Maybe we did it last episode. But at some point, the episode count has gone up and the chapter count has come down, and at some point they've crossed over. At some point we were on episode 39, reading chapter 39 or something. That's pretty cool. Does my wife know about the video of Spock destroying Winona Ryder? Probably. My wife and I have apparently, as of today, as I've discovered today, we have an open policy on watching videos of people who we are attracted to. I found this out today. It was a rule that I didn't make up, but apparently we do, because I forwarded her a video that I knew she would enjoy of Tom Holland. You know Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man in the movies, the new Avengers movies. Not the new Avengers, I mean the Avengers movies that are new, and he plays Spider-Man. But he did this thing where he did a lip sync dance to a Rihanna song, dressed up as Rihanna. Now, I don't know any Rihanna songs, but I assume it's a popular one. And I sent it to her thinking, well, I can't fight this anymore. She's enamored with this toddler, this Haribo smacked up toddler who acts as he puts on a red leotard and leaps around the place in a sort of CG'd monstrous spectacle. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I fancy Whoopi Goldberg. But anyway, she knows that Winona Ryder's like a long-term crush of mine. There's no hiding that. There's no suppressing this fact. But apparently, on receiving this Tom Holland video, she said, "I've seen it. I've watched that already." So it turns out that we're allowed to watch these things now. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. I think I'm going to go and watch some Winona Ryder videos. Or maybe just people who look a bit like Winona Ryder doing things that Winona Ryder would never do. Either way, you're not going to watch me watching those things. I'm going to stop this. Give money to that, the National Video Game Museum. That is down there. It's not a link. You can't click on it. I mean, you can try clicking it. Click as much as you want. Just keep clicking on it. It's not going to do anything different, right? Once you realise that, you've got to type it in. Okay. All clicking on it will do is pause the video, and you won't get to this bit of me explaining that it's not a link. I should probably fix that at some point, maybe like towards the end of this. Type it in, give them money. They love money. They can spend it on all sorts of cool shit. I don't need your money, but give them money. If you want to give me anything, as I said before, like and subscribe, or send me videos of Winona Ryder in compromising positions with space elves. That's basically all I want from life. I'm going to go now. I'll see you next week. This is overrun by fully 10 minutes. You're distracting me with all this nonsense about Winona Ryder. We could have finished this chapter by now, couldn't we? This is going to take far longer than it needs to. Audiences.